Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Not a Trekkie, an all Star Wars Everything podcast brought to you by Red Cyclone Inc. Everything from New Hope to Rogue One, even that solo one, from Anakin and Obi-Wan to Rey left being the only one. Now, I cannot stress this anymore. There is no hate, but this ain't Stargate, this ain't Star Trek, this is Star Wars. I'm your host, Tenacious T. Alongside me, the Merc with the mic.
What is going on? What's going on?
I just made a little blooper right there, because literally right before we press play, I'm like, are you ready for the second time that we don't do the long intro? And then I just couldn't help but do the long intro, because we are no longer in the movies.
No, we're not. We're back in the TV series. We are doing Mandalorian.
Season 2.
Season dos.
Which,
with Sasha Banks.
Yes. Yeah, she, even when
she connects to our wrestling babble.
She is... I enjoyed her. I mean, I don't think she's the greatest actress in the world,
It's
but...
her first role.
Yeah, but she had to play this badass Mandalorian.
Yeah, she was cool. She was cool with what she did.
She tried to whoop Boba Fett's ass.
He deserved it.
And they were like toe-to-toe,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
He deserved it.
Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner joins the cast and saying, "What's up?"
We had to do something for the wrestling babble, right?
I guess you don't like...
But yes, we are here reviewing Mandalorian Season 2.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't watched The Mandalorian yet, turn this fucking shit off now.
No, listen to first. We need the views.
Well, yeah, but...
And then go watch it.
Or fucking ruin it because you're a moron, because it's one of the greatest things that came out of the Star Wars universe.
Yep, it's still on Disney Plus on Season 2. They even have the behind the scenes of it now up on Disney Plus.
All I know is that Jon Favreau is the man.
Yep.
And second time around, right? Because we watched it when it originally came out.
Yeah.
Second time around really made me enjoy this so much more. You know what I mean? Like, the wow aspect was gone from the first viewing.
Yeah.
So to the point that I can appreciate the cinematography of it.
Yeah.
Like, how this is a complete side story of Star Wars, but feels like it's its own thing. Like, it just has the Star Wars background to it. You know what I mean? Like, this didn't even need to be Star Wars, and it would have been a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it was great. It was fun. It was a lot of things in one. Like I've said to you before the cast, I was like, there was not one bad episode in this series. It was all like balls to wall. Like, it got you going from the moment you started watching it, which was the first episode. I think was the longest one. I think that one went on for about almost an hour.
54 minutes.
Yeah, about an hour. And then the rest of them...
It's like 40s.
The rest of them in the 40s and stuff like that, but that was the longest one. I felt like that one was just like an intro, just seeing where he was at, where he was going. I liked the fake Boba Fett and the whole thing of him like taking the helmet and things like that. I actually liked
that was episode 2. That was that was the second episode.
The Marshal.
That was...
No, the first that was the first episode.
That was the first episode?
The Marshal.
Tatooine? The Marshal?
Yeah, Marshal, yeah. That was the first episode.
That was... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You're right.
That was the first episode.
For some reason, I thought it was the second episode.
I like the actor, so I was like, I actually like to like.
He is a good actor.
Like that,
I mean, I didn't really care for the Hitman movie.
Yeah.
But
he was in Justified.
I know, my friend Mike. Shouts out to him, which I always give him a shout out when we do the Not a Trekkie. He has been telling me for years to watch Justified, and
really
I still haven't done it.
And then you ever
I still like to be told to do shit.
You ever watched The Girl Next Door?
Yes.
He was the porn director.
Oh, let me tell you. Okay, when I was 18 years old, my grandmother passed away, and my stepmother left my father but took over my grandmother's house. Yeah. So I was living there. We had no cable. It was I tell you it was bare means, ghetto, like a motherfucker. Like, I showered in pots. Like, I'm not glorifying this in any way. It was shitty, but we were drunk and high the entire time, so we didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I had a DVD player that had to be hooked up to this transmitter to stretch over to this other thing to hook into the back of the TV, because it was, the DVD player didn't have an AV cable, but the TV only accepted an AV, and it was a weird process.
Yeah.
But I only owned 6 DVDs that we watched on a constant basis. And The Girl Next Door was one of them.
Yep.
And when I tell you I was in love with her, I was so in love with her.
Yeah.
But I loved him in that, and that was my first thing that I remembered seeing him in.
Yeah.
Besides Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
Because he was the side cop.
Yeah.
In Gone in 60 Seconds, but I felt like that was his early role. Yeah. Where in Girl Next Door, he really shined a little bit. Like the attitude of what he's portrayed and everything else came from that. I feel.
So this season, like last season, there's a bunch of different directors on it, but this is all written by Jon Favreau. So like,
I was going to mention that too. I love how it's different directors.
Peyton Reed, I think, did the last episode and the second episode. Peyton Reed did. He's the director of Ant-Man.
Okay, I knew the name, but I forgot what he did.
You had Bryce Dallas Howard. You probably know her from. She was in Jurassic Park.
Which one?
The newer one, Jurassic World.
Okay, yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, she directed. She directed an episode too. She directed the third episode of the series. Carl Weathers directed one.
And his episode was fucking awesome, bro. He did such a good job.
Dave Filoni did another episode.
And just so happens it was the episode that he was in.
100%. He also he wrote the Avatar: The Last Airbender. He did the Star Wars Rebels and things like that. So a lot of the characters he made with the Clone Wars actually went through here. Robert Rodriguez did one episode, The Tragedy. I actually really enjoyed that. And then Robert Rodriguez, you know him from Desperado, things like that.
Grindhouse and shit.
Yeah, 100%. And then Rick Fujman. I don't know who.
How to enunciate his
name.
He
directed The Wood. Brown Sugar, Talk to Me, Dope.
The Wood is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
With I forget his name. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but those are the different directors they use in the show. I actually like that. I think it was cool that they have a different approach on things. But Jon Favreau wrote the whole thing.
Well, yeah, he's the greatest thing that Disney did was give him the reins to this because it gives a person who gets it a chance instead of like let's kind of force this image of what we think Star Wars should be.
Yeah, and
he's just really like having fun with it.
I think I think
he's doing it for the fans.
I think as much as people always complain about Disney taking over Star Wars, I think Disney has been doing a good job of it.
Yeah,
I think they've been doing decent movies. I think they're willing to risk things with Star Wars now.
From what I heard, they're trying to erase the Skywalker series, the trilogy, out of the universe.
I don't think they're gonna the whole Skywalker, and I don't think they're gonna erase that. But I think they're gonna go to a different.
Yeah, well, because they're supposed to do another trilogy in the future.
I think the next trilogy is supposed to be based on the Old Republic.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be back.
Yeah.
Before everything, like the beginning of the Jedi.
Like what they're doing right now is. They're setting us up with the shows, which Disney Plus is doing an amazing job with already with the Marvel series.
No, 100%.
You know, we went from the movies to having these side stories with characters that we know from the MCU that are building to the...
It's connecting to everything in MCU.
But it's going to be... Like, we're done with the Thanos time.
Yeah.
And now we're into the multiverse, which is going to be insane. This is going to blow... Endgame out, like I feel like the end game of this was gonna blow that out of the fucking water.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is going away from Star Wars, but
it's Disney.
But this is something that was brought up recently, and I actually was just really thinking about like how Marvel's doing like the full multiverse. And I was telling you this the other day. It's like originally Robert Downey Jr. they wanted him for Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
and I was like,
he would be a good Doctor Doom.
And in my mind, I'm like. Couldn't they just make Tony Stark Doctor Doom?
Yeah.
Like a different, like a multiple version of himself that just went completely wrong.
Yeah, because wasn't there what if Steve Rogers was Iron Man?
Spider-Man.
Which was already in the what ifs?
Yeah.
Because he was Mach 1?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, there's things that you can do. Like, I could see that happening, especially if they want Robert Downey Jr. back as something.
I just feel like, well, I can't see him as... I could see him as Doctor Doom, right? but not acting as Tony Stark. He can't act like Tony Stark.
No, that's the thing. I feel like
that's not Doctor Doom.
I think you have to have that tragic shit that happens to Doctor Doom to happen to Tony Stark.
But we need a good version of Doctor Doom before that 100%. Happens.
So,
which I didn't mind the way the guy, but for him, he was more nit-tucked to me than he was Doctor Doom.
But they did the ultimate version as well, so like his body became like a metal instead of like him getting scarred and putting the mask on his face.
Which only has one scar, which was in the comics, but which is perfect because he was a fucking pretty boy. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of things they could do with that, and it could be interesting what they do with the multiverse. But that was one thing I spotted out. Like, what if Tony Stark just became Doctor Doom? It was like, you're not going directly from the comics. You'll do things off the comics, but you're not going 100% in it. Because there's a lot of characters that will change. You can
do anything. The possibilities are endless, and you're not wrong.
And that's just in my mind. I was like, that's interesting.
You're not wrong. Like, the Captain Marvel being having the serum. You can go a million routes with that. Just alone.
Betty,
You can go a million routes. That's neither here or there, but what Disney is doing... as an example, was the MCU branching it out into separate shows, which is tying everything else in, but it's also giving people something to watch to keep you not waiting for movies, especially post-pandemic. You know what I mean? Like,
and the funny shit is, like, we again, off subject, we're like, what if they just show like how humbled fucking Thanos was with the fucking Infinity Gauntlet?
The more and more I think about him, the more and more he's right. I'm sorry, like, and how easy it was to kill him off in What If with Ultron, come on, it's amazing. But
you're in there.
With what Disney is doing, they're doing it right.
Yeah, like I checked out the Visionaries a little bit. I watched like the first 5 episodes. And they're really dope.
Like I can't wait to dive into Bad Batch. I have no clue what it's about, and I've been making sure that I stay out of reading stuff about it because I want that first thing, because we have a million things that we can do. You know what I mean? Like I want to watch Clone Wars. I know it's dated animation. I know that much. I want to watch that. I want to watch Rebel Ones, because Rebel Ones. There was stuff in this season of this specific season of Mandalorian that ties into that specifically.
Yeah. Exactly.
That makes me want to dive into it. You know what I mean?
I'm excited. Like, we have a lot of stuff. I checked out the Star Wars Visionaries a little bit. Like, the anime is like the best of anime.
Disney has a lot of background stuff that's on the app.
But Visionaries, check that out. Like, it's the best of anime world doing Star Wars stories.
That's why I'm happy I'm a Verizon user, because I get this shit for free.
So it's really cool stuff. Definitely check that out, because I watched the first 5 episodes and they were really interesting. They were a little off of the Jedi mythos, but it was actually really good stories. Like the samurai Darth Vader with the fucking, this shit was sick. So anytime I see like cool shit like that, I'm fine. But back to Mandalorian season 2.
The first episode, what we were talking about, like.
So we start off with chapter 9, The Marshal.
Or 8. I think it's chapter
8. Chapter 9. Remember the first season, 8 episodes.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're back on Tatooine, which is, just, I guess, the housing hold of Star Wars universe. Tatooine is probably the most famous planet, besides Alderaan, I would say, because Alderaan was one of the first planets that was destroyed by the Death Star. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the fact that we actually got to see what this big-ass dragon fucking worm thing fucking was. I forget the name of it.
The Rengar. It was the Rengar pit.
Yeah, something like that. But we only saw the skeleton in A New Hope. But to see them, just to see the Boba Fett.
Kayak dragon.
Yeah, kayak dragon. Kayak whatever.
Dragon.
But that whole shit was cool because we finally got to see it. Didn't it remind you of Tremors a little bit?
Yeah, it does. Or Beetlejuice, those fucking sandworms.
The sandworm. Yeah. But I felt like it was more Tremors because that was what Tremors really was. Just a really huge fucking one. I think Tremors 3 was actually something that was to the same scale of it. That's all I kept thinking about was Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon should be in this episode. You know what I mean? But overall, that first episode was a great way to start season 2 because it was right to it. You know what I mean? Right to doing what Mando does. Like Mando does things to get he's always bartering for shit. Yeah. He's a notorious barterer, or everybody barters with him.
Yeah,
like he wants something. Yeah, but you have to help me.
Yeah.
Oh God, what the fuck do you want now? Like, I'm just trying to get this kid to a Jedi.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But that whole episode was dope.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I liked the marshal. I did like the fact that you saw the inside and you destroyed that animal, and you saw
Tusken Raiders and all
Tusken Raiders,
which is a nod.
Like
It's just good storytelling because it entwines the universe. You know what I mean? It's like the things that you've known.
And then we saw a shadowy figure. Watched them from the end.
You know, and it took me this second time around to realize that was fucking Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And like when I saw it again, I was like, how the fuck did I miss that the first time around?
Yeah.
How the hell did I do it? I'm like, yes, so it made me like, let's go. Yeah, I want to tell you, I breezed through this season with ease. Yeah. To the point I rewatched episodes because like I was like, there has to be more to this. But
we got
continue on.
Chapter 10, The Passenger. This was one I actually really enjoyed this episode because this pretty much involves Baby Yoda just trying to eat these eggs that he's not allowed to eat, and it's kind of very horror-ish with this episode, and I kind of dug it. I thought it was
because it tied into that girl who fixed his stuff. She was like, yo, I vouch for them with my life. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I just met her like 10 minutes ago. I thought you vouched for her life. But like that was cute because like he single-handedly saved a race, a species, because they were the last. Yeah. And it was very important. And Baby Yoda's eating the fucking eggs.
He became like he was the fucking the bad guy in this episode.
But he was hilarious doing it. It was so cute. It was just like, It was a good one. But then we got introduced to the other Mandalorians that are in the world because up to this moment in time, we only knew what the Creed was, like his version of what the Mandalore is. You know what I mean? Which up to this point, this is all we knew. Yeah. And then we find out that Mandalore fell centuries ago, and that his way was the way of the old. Like they were trying to bring back the old thing, when in reality you didn't need to wear your helmet. So this is where we saw what's her face, which is in Clone Wars. And this is where we saw Sasha Banks. What was her name? Bo.
I think you're like an episode forward.
No, because that was the one. Because are you sure?
Yeah, because this is the first episode. This is when.
I might be off.
Yeah.
I get so excited about it.
So in this episode, he agrees to... This is like the beginning. This is when he was trying to eat all the eggs and stuff like that. This next episode, which is the Harris, that's what you're talking about. And that's when they got the frog lady, to her husband at the planet. And then that's when he meets Bo-Katan.
Yeah, Bo-Katan, that's her name.
Bo-Katan. And it was like Sasha Banks' character and the other dude. I don't forgot the names. But anyway, Bo-Katan was the one, and she's a big character in Clone Wars. So basically, we get introduced.
And that was the girl who actually played her, voice-wise, because of. And I saw that because like I don't know any of this stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? When it comes to those shows, I've never seen it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I never wanted to see it. I'll be honest with you, I never did. But the fact that her likeness was what the character looked like, and they brought her to this world, this universe is awesome.
And this was the beginning, the first time we actually get introduced to the Darksaber.
Yes.
Like the origins of the Darksaber, they kind of go into it, and that she's looking for that to get the power back in the Mandalorian's hands, kind of thing. Yes. That's kind of what she's going for. Dope episode. Again, this is when you introduce new characters. The fact that I knew of her in Clone Wars, I don't know much, but I knew she was a big character in it. Yeah. So I was happy with that. It was really cool. We got episode 12, The Siege.
This is the one that Carl Weathers directed.
Yes.
And this is when we blatantly found out that the Empire is still alive. Yeah. That they are still running because we also got what's her face back from the first season.
Cara Dune.
Yeah. We got her back, so she's like Marshall now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, actually, no, she becomes Marshall at the end of this episode. But We get her back in the lines, and I wish she never did what she did in real life. And it's sad that people feel like their voice matters when in reality people just need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's a perfect example of that because I can't see her not being in the show.
Yeah. I think they're gonna eventually.
It's Disney, man. You don't cross Disney, bro.
Well, they brought back James Gunn, so. And his was minor, though. His was really minor.
I don't know. It's just...
Yeah.
So, we get introduced to actually 3 old characters, which one was the prisoner that he first did in the first episode.
Yes.
Which he was funny. I enjoy his presence in it. And we got Carl Weathers back, and...
Yeah.
And they find the facility.
That's true.
And they go and investigate it, and they find out verbatim that the Empire's back.
Yep. So there was Dr. Freshing was to conduct experiments with the child's blood, which has a high M count. So basically, they were looking to use Baby Yoda as experiment
things,
like
though, because they couldn't find anybody that can hold it.
Yeah.
Because they kept dying.
Exactly. And then we also got introduced back to the Stormtroopers and TIE Fighters, and they got destroyed by the Mandalorians, and the child leaves for Corvus. Mandalorian child leaves for Corvus, unaware of the Imperial spy has planted a tracker on the Razor Crest. Little by little, throughout the show, that ship gets destroyed.
Yeah, it does,
and that's
he lucks out because there's so many people because he's done so much shit for so many people that everybody's just forced to fix it. But the person who fixed it is the one that was the mole who planted the tracker on it. Mm-hmm. So it was important for that story build. You know what I mean? Because you wanted what's his face to go after the kid. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't stopping until he did.
Exactly. We got chapter 13, The Jedi. Dave Filoni directed this one. This was the guy that wrote Clone Wars and Rebels. Pretty much we got introduced to Asuka, which was a big character and also in Clone Wars as well, played by Rosario Dawson.
Which she's getting her own series.
She's getting her own spin-off.
And she was awesome.
Yeah, she was great.
She was so. I mean, I love anything that Rosario Dawson does. So, and she's gonna be in the next Clerks too. Yeah,
and then she this is when Mando gets that Beskar spear.
Beskar spear.
Yeah.
See, this episode is very, very important because we finally get more. She communicates with Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Which, up to this moment in time, is the child.
Yes.
The kid.
And she named him.
She didn't name him. It was his name. It's Grogu.
She named him.
Because they talk telepathically between themselves. So there was this leader who goes planet to planet and basically sucks up all the natural resources.
Yep.
So she's just a fucking leech.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And tries to hire Mando to go and kill her.
Yep.
So she goes, and then Baby Yoda and her automatically connect. Yeah. And this is where he finally starts getting answers of what is what, because he's only piecing it together as he goes. He doesn't know what the Jedi is. He doesn't know, you know what I mean? Like, this was important for him to find out his path of what he needed to do with Grogu.
Yep.
And the fight scenes was awesome.
Yeah. You know, and I also love the fact that this is where he found out how close Grogu trusts him. He
wouldn't use the Force without his consent.
Yeah.
But it also scared the shit out of her because she sensed the fear in him.
Yeah, because he was scared for Mando.
Yeah, and because of their connection, and we all know what emotion and fear does to the Jedi. Grogu. Turns them to the dark side.
Exactly.
So she was like, it's better for him to not train.
Yeah.
To let it fade.
Yeah.
Because there was only one that she's seen, and this is where she talked about Yoda in itself. But she never mentioned how Yoda killed himself.
Died. He got tired of hearing Luke's fucking bitching, and he's like,
"Fuck you! you kissed your sister, you bastard!"
Nasty fuck.
But that was one of the most important episodes of this season.
Yeah, it kind of brought it connected a lot of ties to the whole series. So connect the ties to Grogu, learning how the Jedi and things like that. It shows the connection of them two, and like how much he actually cared, and Mando took care of him.
Yeah,
like he developed that, like became his freaking child as well.
I still to this moment in time think that Baby Yoda Grogu was Jedi mind tricking everybody and just didn't realize it.
Probably.
I really truly think that, because
if he was, he would have ate all the eggs.
But you know he ate like a good 5 of them.
He would have ate all them eggs because he was still going for them.
He's always hungry.
So if he was going for that, yeah, he would have like, I want more eggs.
But I don't think he knows he's doing it.
He knows what he was doing. He was being espionage and fucking sneaking behind walls and shit. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, tell me when he was inside the hull trying to fix the ship.
Yeah.
And he's like, put the red wire in, and he's like, don't touch them, and he just blatantly touched them and shocked himself. He's like beyond cute.
Yeah.
Favreau knew what he was doing when he created this creature, bro. Yeah. It's like
Star Wars.
He has people that never seen Star Wars watching this show because of that.
They call it the Baby Yoda show.
You know what I mean? Like it's his show.
Yeah.
It's his show just as much as it's Mandalorian show.
With Mando.
You know what I mean? Which that's not even his damn name, and I just find it so funny.
Yeah, Grogu. But we don't call him Grogu either. I don't call him.
I'm talking about Mando.
Mando. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just short for Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mando. Yeah, I ain't gonna say Mandalorian all the damn time. Mando's
you know what I mean?
Easy. Yeah. All right, next episode, chapter 14, the tragedy. This was directed by Robert Rodriguez. So basically, we actually got a lot of fight scenes in the series. This is the return of Boba Fett.
Ah, man, this is probably my second favorite episode in the whole show. I thought it was fucking beautiful, bro. It was awesome. We got the girl back from the first season.
Yeah.
The sharpshooter girl. I forget her name.
Chung-Li.
Yeah, but that's it's funny because the entire time I was like, fuck her name. It's Chung-Li.
She's always Chung-Li to me.
1,000%. And she's beautiful. I think so.
She's the only actress to appear on all Disney platforms.
Wasn't she
in was in Mulan.
Smallville? She was in Smallville.
She voiced
right?
Mulan. She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's in Star Wars.
She's a Disney hoe.
So she actually appeared in all the Star Wars stuff, all the Disney properties.
Listen, man, the fact that we have the original actor who played Jango Fett.
Yeah. Because
we never seen him as Boba Fett.
Well, again, like it made a lot of sense of getting him back because Jango was Boba.
But now this really solidified that he did not die.
Yeah.
In Return of the Jedi.
And they also explain it. They actually show
fucking crawled out of the fucking stomach
out and everything like that. So he was
because it would have taken him like 150 years to digest him.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot to fill that fucking thing. So it was that dragon. So that wasn't the first time we saw the dragon. We saw that in Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
But the fact that we got him back to reprise that role is amazing.
Yeah.
And his voice, he's just a dominant ass character.
Yeah.
Boba Fett was a toy before he was ever even in the movies.
I was mad that they cleaned up his armor though. I liked the
Bro, me too. I thought it looked better fucking catted up. Yeah.
But I like the armor, but I kind of wanted.
And then Hasbro just dropped the new figure too.
I'm fucking tempted.
Because
I always liked the Boba Fett.
What's another $15? Right. That's the way I look at it.
After $1,000-something,
you spent $300 on a damn ship.
Fucking bullshit. Yeah. But I'm gonna sell it.
But that episode, it dove down more also into the story of Jango more because you found out that he was an Inkling.
Yeah.
That he was part of the same creed that Mando was from because Mando wasn't born into the Mandalorian life. He was saved, rescued, and grew up in it.
Yeah.
Same way that his father was.
Yeah.
So it was handed down and like I loved the interaction between actual Mandalorians and him because they're like, yo, fuck you. You don't deserve that thing. He's like, and then he has to fight for it. It's like, I earned this fucking thing. It's like, you know what I mean? And like that whole episode It really cinematically was amazing.
Yeah.
It really truly was, and I can go on for days about.
Never
this
getting
episode.
more into it because Gideon destroys the Razor Crest, and he deploys his Dark Troopers, and this is the first time you see the fucking Dark Troopers.
Yeah, which they were badass too.
And then it goes into them finding the Slave One, which now is, I forgot the new name for it. It's not called Slave One anymore.
I forget the name of it. What was it?
Yeah, they renamed it because the Slave One, they didn't want the name Slave anymore.
But the reason why we're on this planet is because they have this like ancient ruins where you place a Jedi Force on and it signals out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
yep.
And this is sent out a beacon to somebody who might be listening.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And Miggs Mayfield.
And then it also showed that Boba Fett is a man of his word. He said, as long as I swore to you that I would keep that baby safe.
Yeah.
As long as he's in your possession, I will keep him safe. And he wasn't in his possession. He was like, I'm with you until this happened. Technically, he stole his suit back.
Yeah.
He saw they were occupied and saw the door open. Like,
I'm gonna take that.
I'm gonna get my suit of
armor.
He
has a kilt on for some reason, but
and then he shot down the fucking plane. Bro, it was so.
It was a dope. I think this was probably Boba Fett's best moment.
Best moment, yeah.
100%.
Because like he
got suckered in those fucking 2 movies.
He only followed Han Solo to the city in the sky.
Yeah.
And just transported him out.
Exactly.
That was really it. And then
fell in the and then fell in the beast.
Didn't really do much to help. Fucking.
He flew. He got hit with a stick and then
fell. He didn't really do shit to help Jabba the Hutt, which he was hired by Jabba the Hutt to protect him, and he did a horrible ass job because Princess Leia killed his ass.
He got. He flew. He was blind. He got hit. He fell in the hole.
And now he finally, 13 years? I think it's 13 years later or something like that. 8 to 13 years. I think this is placed after Return of the Jedi.
The next episode is The Believer. So this one brings back the prisoners that the character.
This was my favorite episode.
Miggs Mayfield.
Bill Burr's in it.
Yeah.
An amazing episode because this. So, they now Baby Yoda, Roku, is taken by the Empire.
Yeah.
So, they need to get into this compound to figure out where they're taking him, or how to get get in contact with Moff Gideon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have no way to enter this place. So we go back to season 1 where we have somebody who used to be a member of the Empire, which is Bill Burr. So they get him out of prison, and then this is where Mando starts realizing that his way is not the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is very important.
Yeah.
This single-handedly changed the whole dynamic of the show.
Yeah. And it was a deep episode. It was a lot of things going on here. And this is pretty much when he decides also that his goal was to save.
Remember in all of our Not a Trekkie podcasts episodes, I always mentioned, but there's people in the Empire.
Yeah.
Like, they are being forced to do this shit. There's probably good people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he single-handedly answered that question for me.
Yeah.
It took me years to figure that out because not everybody in the Empire is bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're people just like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Bill Burr did it beautifully when they got into the place and Mando has to show his face.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there talking to the general about what he went through. And he was like, yeah, but was it fucking fair that all my people died and all the innocent people? Like, it gives me chills. I'm thinking about it now because it gave me that answer. Like, yes, they are fucking people. And you don't need to be, your mindset doesn't have to be that way. He did reform. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about survival.
Yeah.
To me, that was one of the greatest moments.
Yeah.
In Star Wars for me, like as simple as the episode's not simple in any way, but that conversation answered so many things that I wondered. You know what I mean? Like it hit me to the core. I watched that episode twice in a row.
That's directed by Rick Fujimon. He actually wrote that episode too.
I was very passionate about that.
Very good one.
It really.
And then we get to our last chapter, which is the rescue.
No, wait. At the end of the episode was an epic move by Mando.
Mm-hmm.
He sends a message to Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
The same message that he sent to him in the first season, just relayed back. You think you might not. You think you might know what you have, but you have no idea.
Yeah.
That thing means more to me than you can ever imagine.
Yeah.
And I will find you. Bro, it was just like, it was one for Mando, bro.
He just did the taking to his ass.
It's like, yo, I'm gonna beat you in your own game, bro. You wanna bully me, bro?
Yeah.
It's like, I whoop all your people's asses.
And we got chapter 16. This is the final episode, directed by Peyton Reed and written by Jon Favreau. This was The Rescue. And this was a amazing season finale. Pretty much to get it on.
I think this was probably as good as the end of Rogue One.
Yeah. They all pretty much get back together and team up. So Bo-Katan, Kosha Reeves to the rescue, which is Sasha Banks. Kosha Reeves was Sasha Banks. Bo-Katan, they like that. And then they all help Goku. Goku.
It's not Goku. This ain't fucking...
Yeah.
This ain't Dragon Ball Z.
Gets Gideon's cruiser and Darksaber. And the Mandalorian considers helping liberate the Mandalorian, and using the shuttle to get enough to get close. But there was a lot of shit going on in this episode. They pretty much all came together and
got ambushed by those fucking...
Got ambushed by the dark...
which they
dark
were badass, man. Yeah. They, I forget what they were... they reminded me of the droid in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Just without a personality. Like, programmed to just fucking kill them.
I liked him.
I know, like, M's, whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then, this goes to a big battle. Pretty much, he had the Dark Spear, his spear that he had with the best card, was able to stop that Darksaber.
And then it kind of was like a plot twist at the same time, because Moff Gideon knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
If he lost that saber, he knew that, what's her face?
Yeah, she was going to take over it.
Yeah, but it can't be handed over.
Yeah.
It can't be yielded.
Yeah.
Like, you have to earn it in battle, and she knew that. Which, to me, pissed me off a little bit, because she's against all of that shit. She's like, no, like, it doesn't have to be that way with everything else.
But then how to be that way.
Except for that fucking saber. Like, why so special with the saber? Why so special with that damn saber?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe there's some cosmic thing that I don't know about. But
supposedly, like, what the Darksaber is supposed to be stronger than a fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, but it can't go through pure Beskar.
Beskar, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the same thing with the lightsaber.
And just so happens he had that spear that was fucking saving him, and it would light it up. That fight scene. I mean, Moff Gideon, I don't think he's that skilled of a swordsman.
But I think his character. I think he was just a better character.
He's good in everything he does.
Yeah, I'm actually playing Far Cry. And he's in that too. He's the villain.
Good. I mean, I relate back to him for Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
you know
a lot of people are actually talking about him being a Marvel villain too. And a lot of people looking at Magneto, and then they look at.
He would be a good Magneto.
I think it would be a good Magneto.
And it would also change the dynamic of he doesn't have to be a white guy.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean? Like
it has to be. See the thing with Magneto.
I mean, King the Conqueror ain't a black guy, right?
No. But the thing with Magneto is the fact that he was in the Holocaust. He dealt with a lot of that thing. So basically, you kind of have to have that backstory with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And that's because that's what makes him like.
But in a multiverse, does it?
Well, it's just in Magneto's mentality
for his lineage.
So his mentality of how he just protects his people, kind of thing, goes from what he dealt with in
as
the
more and more time goes by, I'm on Magneto's side.
Yeah, and then the concentration camp. So I don't know, like with Magneto, 100%. When another one was Doctor Doom, I could 100% see him as Doctor Doom as well. But yeah, he was a fucking great actor, and I actually liked him as the villain too. He always has that quirky thing that will make you laugh as well, even though he's evil as shit. And I was fine.
He's like he's got a smirky little attitude, like I'm the shit. You know what I mean? And I don't really have to show off for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but in such poetic fashion and form, the ending of this episode.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were able to keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
And not have it leak out that just shows you like the body of the people who are in this and invested in this believed in it.
They probably put
to
a gun
keep their
to all
mouths
their family's
shut.
head, like.
You know what I mean? Like, you say a fucking word,
they die.
This is, bro. It brought back Luke Skywalker.
I think compare, and this is something that we said. Rogue One is probably the best movie.
Well, our opinions, of course.
Yeah, in our opinions, and
but our
that's
opinion
what
is
matters. But
it's my motherfucking podcast.
I think Mandalorian just had the scene that stole the show for us. In Rogue One, they had one, but with Luke Skywalker.
But and I remember when this episode dropped, they did like a side-by-side play of Darth Vader and the way he moved and the way Luke Skywalker was moving. Yeah. Like, bro, it was like father, like son.
Exactly. It was a dope-ass scene.
And I never seen him move like that.
Yeah.
This is the first time where I think that now he is...
You actually saw him actually fight, yeah.
Yeah, but like I think he is not a self-proclaimed Jedi Knight. He actually is.
Who gave him it? Yoda killed himself before he gave it. Yoda was like, "Fuck that, dude."
Like, I'm tired of this shit. I've been through so much shit in 800 years, and your mouth is what took me out. It'll forever be an ongoing joke with us. It really will.
But I thought that scene was beautiful. The way they ended was beautiful. Him giving up. I know it was hard, and he gave up Grogu to teach him,
but
to show him the ways.
That was his mission.
Yeah.
He filled his mission parameter, whatever the hell it's called, a mission objective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he did it. But it showed Grogu's attachment to him. Yeah. Like, please let me go.
Yeah.
So I can go do what I have to do.
And to protect him, too.
Yeah. It was like, who else is better to be with him than Luke Skywalker in his prime? Because we all know he turned into a little bitch later in life.
Yeah, exactly.
With the Skywalker,
Skywalker.
Trilogy.
Popping nipples on Beast and just drinking milk.
Oh, he loves that shit, man. He was raised off of blue milk. He was raised off of it.
We also got R2-D2. Yay!
But we had a form of in one of the episodes. We had a form of C-3PO as the teacher.
Yes.
When they turned that the cabana into a school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
But overall, that scene is top 5 greatest scenes in Star Wars.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I love the way.
And my mouth dropped the entire time because when you saw the X-wing come in, and you're like, no, no. I'm like, it can't be.
And then once you see the green lightsaber, and you're like,
well, you know, watching it the second time, you want to know what I really looked for? The 2 different hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now I already know it's Luke Skywalker. Yeah. But you see one black hand, which is his robotic hand, and his regular hand. Yeah. So watching it now, back in retrospect, you're like, oh, it has to be him.
Yeah.
But he never moved like that. He was never savvy in that way.
Well,
so he must have went through some shit after Return of the Jedi.
That also, but you also got to realize in the original Star Wars movie, he didn't really fight like that.
No.
There was the fights weren't...
He was crying at the time and fucking running away.
Like, the last movies were very intense in trying to get the fight scenes, like the sword fights and stuff like that. The original movies barely had them.
Yeah,
so like even
they were very animatronic, robotic fight scenes.
They were dance moves,
you know
like
what I mean?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. As in when they got evolved, even in the original, the 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, well,
they got more in depth with the fight scenes.
The prequels are what really lightened up the let's get some real badass. Yeah. And what Star Wars has a knack for, except for Return of the Jedi. I would say Return of the Jedi probably had the most lackluster ending. Yeah. Because look at Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. The ending scenes. Yeah. Is to me the second best scene ever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, if you go to like the fight scene wise, I even will say episode 1 with Ray Park as Darth Maul.
Yeah. I just can we get a fucking show of him?
Yeah, he's a big character in the
comics.
Series.
I know, and in the books, more in the books though.
Because I know cartoon series.
He's got like 3 books or some shit like that.
Clone Wars. He's a big character in Clone Wars.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, this series was fantastic.
I heard that third season's delayed though a little bit.
Yeah, it got delayed because there's there's a writer's strike right now. There's a strike going on.
Well, it's about to happen. I don't think it happened yet.
But it's
just
affecting.
Happened the other day.
Yeah, it's affecting a lot of because all the movies got delayed as well. But then again, you also got Obi-Wan coming. You got Obi-Wan coming. You got. We got Obi-Wan coming. Star Wars Visionaries, definitely check that out. We
got Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. We have a ton to watch.
We got
the new stuff coming out.
What's Her Face's show? We got Han Solo show. No, not Han Solo.
Boba Fett's.
We have.
We have Boba Fett in December.
We got Boba Fett, but don't we have
Ahsoka?
We have her. We got him, and don't we have
Obi-Wan?
We got Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan and the dude from Rogue One. Andor.
Yeah. Oh, we got a lot. Yeah. I can't wait for these shits to fucking drop. They're going to do it just like they're doing the MCU.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's going to be one thing,
it's all
and then 6 months later, there's going to be another thing, and
it's all connects. It all connects to each other.
It's going to be so good, and it's going to lead up into fucking movies, and it's going to be. It's a promising future for the fan base of Star Wars to enjoy.
My little wish that I'm just gonna put it out there, and maybe we get it, maybe we don't. The people that did the last Star Wars game,
the Fallen Order.
Can we get a Mandalorian game? They're good with shooting games. They have history. They did Titanfall.
As long as they don't do it like an Assassin's Creed, because I feel like they would do it like an Assassin's Creed.
I wouldn't mind.
But you feel me on that? I kind of feel like the story of Mandalorians kind of would work in like a Assassin's Creed form.
I would take it like how that game is, but it would be more gunplay, it would be things like that. Because if you really look at it and kind of like seeing how Mandalorian went in season 1, season 2, it's kind of like a video game. He gets upgrades. He makes money. He gets upgrades.
It's just the story in between. The fight scenes and shit. And, like, you're telling me in season 1 when he's fighting fucking everybody. And you have to hold your own until the other Mandalorians come and help whoop some ass.
That'd be dope.
That would be an amazing fight scene.
That would be dope.
Or meeting up with Boba Fett and having that fight scene.
So, the reason
where you think you're going to save it and then you actually lose.
See, I have a lot of hope. Like if the people that did Fallen Order did a Mandalorian game, those guys at Respawn are known for gunplay. They did some of the best Call of Duty games. They were the ones behind Modern Warfare.
Which Modern?
The original Modern Warfare. And the part 2, they did part 2. They did Titanfall. They did.
So their track record's there.
Their track record is there for shooting, for gunplay and stuff like that. The way Fallen Order played, I could see Mandalorian playing similar to that, but with gunplay.
Just with his arsenal of weapons that he has, it just leads up to a perfect video game.
And then, honestly, if you watch the show directly through the show, it's a fucking video game. He makes money. He gets upgrades on the suit.
Hey, if you need some money, a side mission, go do a bounty.
Exactly. But then he gets upgrades and gets a suit. He got a rocket pack. He got this. He got the Beskar shit. Like he did throughout the game. He collected things and upgraded. He did exactly what a video game.
And have Pedro Pascal fucking voice.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Take advantage of that license and get all the people back on it. I
don't think that he would not be in it, because wasn't he in the Game of Thrones game? Wasn't there a Game of Thrones game?
Yeah, it wasn't good though.
But he was in it.
I think
really he voiced somebody.
Probably.
I don't know. I might be talking on my ass.
But I 100% think a Mandalorian game needs to be done. I think there's a lot of money into that, like 100%. Because even I actually went back because I think it was like $5 on the PlayStation Store. It was Boba Fett. Jango Fett had a game. Back in PS2 era, and it wasn't a bad game.
See, it's one of my goals to get all the Star Wars games too.
Yeah,
it's one of my goals to do that.
Oh, that's
we have a thing with the wrestling games, and we have a thing with that.
Yeah, it was a Jango Fett game, or it was a Boba Fett. I think it was a Jango Fett game. But it played pretty decent. There's one game that you should actually check out on the Switch that you will like. It's called Republic Commandos.
Okay.
It's a first-person stormtrooper game.
It has like X-wings on the cover, right?
Yeah.
I know.
It has the 4 stormtroopers.
I
on
know
the cover.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Game
I don't recall any of the gameplay or anything like that, but I can see the cover.
It came out
right now.
originally on Xbox, the original Xbox. They just re-released it on the Switch and it's on PS4, Xbox.
I've been meaning to take a trip.
I think it's actually on
to Game On because I haven't been to Game On in a while.
Yeah.
And me and Tristan probably still holding my Warriors game from March.
Yeah.
Because he's like that. He'd be like, yo, are you fucking going to take this damn game already?
I got you.
But
it's a pretty decent game. And again, like I said, Mandalorian could be a great video game.
I would love that. I would love a comic book, too. Comic book would be awesome.
I think they... No, they probably don't. No, I think he does have a comic
Or even... It doesn't even have to be him. It could be a different...
Yeah, maybe.
It could be like the Society of Mandalorians. And what happened to them in the past. What made them fall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a book or something. But I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100% I say a video game just because if you actually really watch the show and see what he went through and throughout the show, it's just straight out video game.
Yeah. I 1,000%. And I think we should mention that on the Game of Rage podcast.
Yeah, 100%.
Put that out into the universe.
Yeah. All right.
Because they're listening.
Yeah.
Because the remasters that we talked about, this is coming, man. This is fucking coming. I really, bro, like, the coincidences.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, I feel like there's a team of people who just dreamed through a whole bunch of shit and just stumbled upon.
Give us our credit, goddamn.
I know.
Just a little bit. Or send us the Lagunitas. That's what you got to do. We don't want no money.
To be sponsored by Lagunitas. Yeah. Just send us a couple of beers of every new thing that you're coming out with. That's it. Don't even tell us it's happening. Just knock on the door and it's like, oh shit. Yeah. This is for your next cast.
Yep. I guess.
Yeah, wrap this up.
We got Mandalorian done. Mandalorian season 1 and 2. What should be next for the next Trekkie?
Do we keep it relevant to now, or do we dive into the animated stuff? Because how long is Clone? What was first, Rebel Ones or Clone Wars?
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars is first. How long is that?
I think
how many seasons?
6 seasons.
And that's on Netflix, right?
It's on
it's on Disney Plus now, right?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Because I have no idea.
I don't know. Let's go check right now. Star Wars. You can watch the horror Lego movie.
The horror Lego movie?
There's a horror Star Wars Lego movie. The Star Wars Lego movies are actually quite funny though. I watched one of them and it made me laugh. But I have an easy sense of humor. I laugh at a lot of things. So Clone Wars, final season, and then Star Wars Rebels, Resistance. So actually, they only got Clone Wars final season. And this came out.
I mean, we can. It's either we go into Clone Wars or we do Bad Batch. Those are my only two.
So Clone Wars is 7 seasons, and there's 22 episodes in each season.
That's a hefty load right there.
We could do that. We could do Bad Batch, which is also like 16 episodes, and I think it's still going. I think it didn't finish yet. Oh no, it finished. 16 episodes.
Okay, so this is what I say we do. I say we do Bad Batch.
Okay.
Because it's only 1 season.
Okay.
And then we don't really have anything until the new stuff starts rolling out, and then it'll give us.
So what we can do, we'll do Bad Batch next. We'll do Star Wars Visions after that, and then we'll start Clone Wars.
Wait, say that again? My mind
we'll
blanked.
do Bad Batch next. That'll be the next podcast. We do Bad Batch.
Okay.
We do Star Wars Visions after that, which is the animated. It's like 8 episodes.
Okay, so yeah, we'll keep it relevant to now, and then once we're done with what they have, we dive back because 7 seasons with 20-something episodes.
Yep.
We're talking 7 months worth of stuff, which gives the world time to catch up to us.
And us to catch up to the world.
Well, yes, but you know how.
Because we also put the other podcasts in. Fine, we're always watching a lot of shit, so I'll try to take it easy with some things and then go from there. 16 episodes is not bad, so we could get through that pretty fast.
Yeah, I'm with it.
All right. So next episode will be for Bad Batch. Not a Trekkie, so.
And this is cool because I have no clue of anything.
Me too.
So
I think I watched the first episode.
It'll be a fresh thing. Yeah. I know you've been chit chatting with somebody at work. Like he was talking about it.
Yeah, I watched the first episode. I was like, I didn't watch none.
I blanked out every single time anybody ever talked about it because I don't want to know anything.
If they told me about it, I kind of forgot by now. I don't remember anything that people told me. So, anyway, so we'll wrap this up. This is another Not a Trekkie podcast. I'm Mark the Mike. Tenacious T.
I'm always here.
You can follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and SoundCloud. All Mark with the Mic. Follow Red Cycle Inc. on YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter, and WordPress. They have a WordPress. Check out his pictures of Mass Effect 2. He's been going through that, and that's actually been really fun because he's been getting a lot of glitches and shit. It's fun. It's hilarious. Shouts out to Louis Beans, our producer. He's the one that makes our podcast sound beautiful. So shout outs to him. And follow Tenacious T.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at Tenacious T RC Inc.
Yep.
You can also follow me on my own personal Instagram page, Tots Guwap. Also follow our Red Cyclone Inc. Music Debate the Greats page, where we take two artists, guitarists, drummers, bands, whatever, bring them together, have a discussion of who we prefer and what preference is what. It's not to discredit, but it's just to have a nice, fun conversation. Always a shouts out to Game On, retro video game store based out on Long Island, in 2 separate locations, soon to be 3 locations. One in Miller Place, one in Smithtown, and soon to be in Patchogue, satisfying all your retro video game needs. And when I mean all your retro video game needs, I mean all of them. Always a shouts out to my boy Mike, a.k.a. Mr. Wazowski, for without him, I would not be as passionate as I am about Star Wars. Also a shouts out to my brother, who continually rides out with me through the Star Wars process. So always a shouts out to them. Shouts out to Mind of an Artist. Came out with his own clothing line called Drugs and Demons. Check out that on Instagram at Drugs and Demons. Awesome clothing line, awesome artist. Check it out.
Yep.
Follow, listen to our other podcasts.
Yep.
I always let you take this away because you have it already set.
We got Out of Shell Shock. We got the Morphin Cast. We got Not a Trekkie. All our past episodes. We also got a weekly It Gets Better, I Swear podcast, when we are going through 2 decades of superhero comic book movies from 1978 to 2000, and we're up to Tank Girl this week. And then also the Wrestling Babble. We talk a lot of shit about wrestling and love for wrestling and all that good stuff. Also, Sasha Banks was in this, so there you go. Wrestling Babble. Follow it. All right. Peace out. Laters. We don't really have a negative thing to say on this cast, but we always say fuck Zordon anyway because he's in space.
But it's kind of like our thing.
There you go. So fuck Zordon.
Fuck Zordon.
And Jinkies can't have sandwiches. Stop giving him shit.
I want to give him a sandwich, but I feel like if I handed it to him, I'd knock it to the ground.
He's gonna go to the worm.